We're going to be talking about an Immortal Codex that is probably the biggest lump of BS that Moonton has released in quite some time, and I think the player base is very aware of this as well. So this is going to be the mother of Crow's Immortal Codex. I wanted to show you essentially the team that I was able to come up with and how it works. And I am a free-to-play player, but some of the heroes on this roster you may not have, right? Because I've been blessed. I have a very, cracked-out account as far as free-to-plays go. I'm in the top 14%, though, with a C ranking, which is just absolutely insane. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Why is the ranking so low, right? Like, generally a C would get you into, top 40%. Well, it's because there are mandatory heroes for this codex, right? It's a soft mandatory requirement. The heroes being Beelzebub, right, as well as Lady Alexandra. So if you don't have Beelzebub or Lady Alexandra, good luck ranking highly. If we even go down to, all the way down to, the 100th place, you can see that they have Beelzebub. They have Mari. They have Mari, Beelzebub, Lady Alexandra, right? You basically need Beelzebub or Lady Alexandra if you're going to want to do this. Let's go ahead and just quickly talk about the boss. Essentially what's going to happen is you have Lady of the Crows in the middle on her own, and then she's going to spawn these crows that go back and forth. They're picking up flames and taking them to the middle, and if they do that too much, you're going to get just overrun essentially. So she has a passive, increases the number of summoned dread crows and raises HP for each wave of monsters. Each time Unholy Trinity is cast, increases her own attack and penetration 1 time. She has Unholy Pact. Brannon transforms into 3 Dread Crows that become invincible and untargetable. Unholy Trinity casts skills with different effects based on the attributes activated. So Blood Beak deals damage to all heroes on the battlefield and reduces their attack. Chains is going to deal damage to all heroes on the battlefield and reduce their attack speed. And Curse is going to deal damage to all heroes and deal continuous damage and reduce their rage. And then finally, a Pitch Black passive, or auto cast rather. Each time Brannon casts an ultimate attack skill, or casts an attack skill, it doesn't say ultimate in here anywhere. I don't know what I'm reading. She gains 1 stack of Midnight. When Midnight reaches 4 stacks, she casts Pitch Black, clearing all heroes on the battlefield. Whenever Brannon enters the Twilight State, the Midnight stacks will be cleared. So, essentially, you don't want this stacking up to 4, right? Because it's just an instant death for everybody on the field. If you go into the guides, you can actually look at her as well as the Dread Crows that are going to get spawned, so you can see her stats. She obviously has high magic resistance. Now, the thing with these crows, so when under control, different CC effects will reduce different attributes, right? So this is very important because and this is why Beelzebub is so strong. This is why Lady Alexandra is so strong, because she does true damage essentially for a marksman, which is pretty insane. But essentially these crows have massively reduced damage taken unless you have them under CC, or of course if you're able to do just true damage to them, that helps as well. Now CC, you're very limited in your options, right? You have the slows and stuff like that you'd expect to see from a Mari, but we also can't use any ground units in here, and it's all just platform units, which means that, it's a tough time. So you can come in here and see what they do. So the Touch of Corruption on the Dread Crow here is going to transfer corrupted energy, right? And that's, kind of what you expect to see. So you have the Dread Crows of the different types. You can see what their HP is. All right, you get the idea, right? I'm not going deep into essentially every single ability here on the crows because it's not particularly appealing to me, this content at least, right? I kind of wanted to just showcase the team. We're going to go ahead and do an auto fight here. I'm not going to lie, how I got to this high of rank, and it's not even that high, let me be perfectly clear, because somebody's going to be in the comments saying, well, C rank's not that high. I get it, it's not, right? But essentially what I did is I placed everybody down, as you can see here. So the team that I'm using is going to be Nyx, Silas, Mari, Anora, Hex, and Eovar, right? So Eovar is very important to have as a Lord because he's going to be a Lord that you can place, so he's going to do additional damage. He's going to power up all of your marksman units, so basically everybody except Anora and Mari. I placed them down in these positions here, as you can see, and then I just put it on auto with auto cast ultimates and ran it a bunch of times until I get got like a somewhat decent ranking. So I have Anora and Mari basically stacked up on the left-hand side here where they're both going to be doing their CC effects. Beelzebub is insane because he has a range that goes like all the way across. So his CC effects are able to like reach both sides, which means that you don't necessarily need like a Mari or a Nora. If you don't have him, you kind of have to use both, which is just some BS, right? As you can see, we're taking out the crows decently quickly. We are struggling with them somewhat, but like I have very good gear on all of these heroes, and you can still see that like they're not taking much damage because of the invulnerabilities and the damage resistances that they have when they're not affected by CC. So you're going to see that we actually get a D rank on this auto here, and it ranks a little bit lower than we'd normally see. Even during the ultimate, somebody like a Silas does not do much damage, right? Like, you've seen how low the HP is on this crow, and Silas with his ultimate is not able to even take it out. Like, it's absolutely obscene if you don't have like a Mari or something like that in here to do it. So essentially, you need to bring CC like a Mari or an Nora, and it'll help you out a lot. This is the full team composition here. Damage breakdown, obviously, as you'd expect to see. The Silas and Hex are the top damage dealers, which is kind of ironic because we're inside this Immortal Codex. You would generally want to use AoE damage because the crows are kind of coming into this condensed space, but then the AoE damage dealers just don't have enough damage output essentially to actually be able to go ahead and do crazy things. And it sucks to see that it's locked into certain heroes like this, right? Like just how ridiculously narrow the options are. Because realistically, if you don't have Lady Alexandra, for example, like you can see the ridiculous amount of damage these guys are doing. If you don't have Beelzebub, you're not getting through this, right? Like I was very surprised that my shoddy little C ranking was enough to give me a C, right? So I'll just go ahead and show you the builds that I have on everybody real quick here as well. I won't go too in depth with them. This is what I have on my Silas. This is what we have on the Hex. This is what we have on Nyx. Nyx actually has a very decent build. When it comes to the Anora, she is somewhere up here, I believe. A lot of heroes on this account, certainly. So Anora's got a pretty decent build there as well. And then we're going to come down and we have Mari. This is what she has for a build, so obviously just have a lot of attack speed and rage regen. And then finally, we're going to have Eovar, who's not built crazy well, right? Like, I have him inside Soulbound Arcana, and it is what it is. He's not doing crazy amounts of damage or anything like that. He's essentially just there to help power up everybody else on the field. He can do really good damage, obviously, if you have him built for it, but I just didn't, build him for that on my account. So let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of this Immortal Codex. I'm sure if I sat here and, really just tried to farm my way through it and min-max every single placement and all that sort of good stuff, I would have been able to do it. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. And like, let me be clear too, my account is not booty cheeks in any way, right? Like, I get SS plus records on some of these. I get Lord of Styx this rotation. I was able to get triple S, which felt pretty good. Conqueror, I got SS plus as well. It was also on Phantasmal Nightmare. I was able to get A plus apparently, which I thought I got higher than that. I'm pretty sure I made a video guide getting higher than that, but yeah, it is what it is, right? So my scores definitely aren't as high as they could be, but they're also generally not this low. So it really speaks to the difficulty of the content. That being said, though, thank you guys all so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.